Beloved, the world has hidden many treasures from you, but none can truly be hidden when you stand in the light of truth. The lottery is not chance, it is not accident, it is law. The secret law of the lottery is the law of your spoken word, for what you declare with conviction and faith, the universe hastens to fulfill. Most people believe they must struggle, that wealth is for others, that winning is luck, but I tell you, there is no luck in God's kingdom, only divine order. And when you align with that order, even a lottery ticket can be transformed into a golden key that opens the storehouse of abundance. You must first see it in mind. Imagine yourself already holding the winning slip of paper. Feel the weight of it in your hand, the rush of joy in your heart. Declare, it is mine now. Infinite Spirit has already supplied me. The subconscious does not argue. It accepts the picture you paint and goes forth to arrange the perfect outcome. Never speak of lack. Never say, I never win. For the tongue sets in motion the invisible forces. If you declare defeat, defeat comes swiftly. If you declare triumph, triumph is compelled to appear. The secret law is this: speak the word as if it were already so, and the universe must obey. Guard your thought as a watchman guards the gate. When doubt whispers, replace it with certainty. The divine supply is mine. My ticket is chosen. My wealth is secure. Feel it as already accomplished. For you do not beg God, you affirm God's abundance. Many chase the lottery from fear, from desperation, from the belief that it is their only hope. But hope is weak compared to faith. You must play, not from despair, but from knowing. The ticket is but a channel. The true source is the infinite. And when you release your fear and stand in faith, the infinite can use even the lottery to bless you. Say aloud, I am one with the law of prosperity. I am divinely guided to my wealth. My win comes by divine right, in perfect time, without effort, without struggle. And so it is. The secret law that no one told you is this: you are the winner before the numbers are ever drawn. Speak it, feel it, believe it, and the universe will draw the number that belongs to you. The greatest secret, hidden from most of the world, is that your spoken word is law. Every time you open your mouth, you send forth a command into the invisible, and that command never returns empty. The words you speak today become the conditions you walk into tomorrow. If you speak of defeat, you carve out the very road of defeat beneath your feet. If you speak of victory, you summon the forces of triumph to rise and carry you. There is no neutral word, for every utterance is seed, and every seed must produce after its kind. Most people call the lottery a game of chance, yet what they do not realize is that their words about it have already decided the outcome. A man who declares, I never win, my ticket is useless, it is only for others, has already sealed his destiny long before the numbers are drawn. The universe hears the decree and must obey, for the subconscious never questions, it only executes. But the one who says, this is my winning ticket, I am chosen, wealth is mine by divine right, has placed a demand upon the infinite, an infinite supply, must move heaven and earth to make the word flesh. Do you see how powerful your voice is? The tongue is the rudder of your life. It steers your ship through storm and through calm. People spend countless hours studying systems, numbers, strategies, believing that calculation holds the key, but the true key is hidden in plain sight. It is what you dare to say. For every time you speak with faith, you inscribe a decree upon the scroll of the subconscious, and that scroll is read aloud by the universe until the manifestation appears in form. When you buy a ticket, do not say, perhaps I will win, though it is unlikely. That is the language of hope, which leaves you waiting and doubting. Instead say, this ticket is already blessed. The winning numbers are already aligned with me. Infinite Spirit reveals the victory through this channel. Do not be casual with words, for casual words create casual results. Speak deliberately, as though you hold a pen dipped in fire, and every word engraves itself upon reality. I have known people who prayed for abundance, and yet spoke of lack at every turn. They declared to God, "Bless me," but then told their neighbor, "I am broke, I never catch a break." Which of those words do you think the subconscious obeyed? Not the prayer, for prayer without faith is an empty shell. It obeyed the spoken defeat, and so, day after day, the pattern of poverty continued, not because Spirit had withheld good, but because the law of words had been misused. When you understand this, you no longer let careless speech leave your lips. You become a guardian of your tongue, and each word you utter is chosen with intention. You say, "I am wealthy now, my abundance is secure, my ticket is already a winning ticket. My wealth flows to me swiftly, easily, in perfect divine order." Speak it in the morning when you rise, speak it at night before you rest, and speak it in the stillness of the day when doubt tries to whisper. For words are swords, and when wielded with faith, they cut through every shadow of lack. There is a rhythm to this law, a certainty. As surely as you plant corn and reap corn, so when you plant words of victory, you must reap victory. If you declare, "I never win," you plant thorns, and the thorns will choke your harvest. But if you declare, "I am chosen for increase," you plant golden seed, and your harvest cannot be withheld. It is only a matter of time before the field bursts forth. The wise gardener does not dig up the seed to see if it grows. He waters it with faith, and so must you water your declarations with daily affirmation, never doubting, never retracting, never speaking the opposite. Speak always as if the thing were already accomplished. Say not, "I will win one day," for that pushes the blessing into tomorrow where it forever escapes your grasp. Say, "I have already won. The wealth is mine now. The numbers are drawn in my favor." This is not pretending, it is proclaiming. And the subconscious, which hears only the present tense, begins immediately to organize circumstances, people, and events, so that your word takes form. When you stand in this truth, you no longer chase after chance, you no longer beg the heavens. You stand as a child of the Most High, knowing that your inheritance is abundant, that the spoken word is your key, and that nothing can resist a decree spoken with faith. Each syllable you release is a vibration that summons its match. Speak wealth, and wealth rushes to meet you. Speak victory, and victory runs to your side. Speak blessing, and blessing multiplies in your hands. Therefore, every time you look upon your ticket, do not speak of what the world calls odds. Speak only of divine order. Say, "Infinite intelligence knows no odds. I am one with infinite supply. This ticket is my divine channel. My word goes forth to prosper, and it returns with the harvest of abundance." Hold fast to these declarations, for the tongue is the bridge between the invisible and the visible, between thought and form. And the one who guards that bridge wisely finds that the riches of heaven pour across it into their very life. You see, words alone are not enough, unless they are clothed in vision. For the spoken word is the command, but the picture in the mind is the blueprint the subconscious builds upon. You may declare, "I am a winner," but if you secretly hold in imagination the image of loss, the two cannot agree, and the stronger picture will prevail. This is why so many cancel their own decrees. They speak of triumph, but picture defeat. They say, "I will receive abundance," but in the secret theater of their mind they watch themselves walking in lack. The subconscious does not reason. It does not weigh one statement against another. It simply accepts the picture that is most vivid, most alive, most impressed with feeling. And so the work of manifestation is not only in the mouth, but in the imagination. For what you hold in mind with emotion, you will surely hold in hand with substance. When you speak your word, Let your inner eyes see the scene completed. Imagine yourself unfolding the ticket and seeing the winning numbers in your grasp. Feel the thrill run through your body. Hear the announcement in your ears, as though the voice of spirit were proclaiming, "This is your win." Let your heart rejoice as if it has already come to pass. For in the unseen realm, it has already happened. The subconscious cannot distinguish between a vividly imagined picture and an actual event. It records both as truth and sets in motion the law that makes them visible. So many live in the shadow pictures of fear. They imagine disappointment, they rehearse failure, they play the scenes of loss over and over again, and then they wonder why these very conditions appear in their lives. It is because the subconscious has been faithfully projecting the movie they have written. But you, beloved, are the author of your own play. You may erase the old film at once and begin again. Paint a new picture on the canvas of the mind, one of victory, one of overflowing abundance, one of joyous increase, and the universe, which is ever responsive, must bring the vision into form. When you lay your head at night, do not let fear pictures march across the screen. Instead, take hold of your imagination. Before sleep, see yourself already in possession of your desire. Picture the celebration, the laughter, the freedom of wealth flowing into your life. Let the last image impressed upon your mind be one of victory, for the subconscious works all through the night with whatever picture you hand it before you rest. And in the morning, rise and rehearse the same vision until it becomes so familiar that the outer world has no choice but to mirror it. If doubt tries to intrude and show you a different outcome, gently but firmly replace it. Say within, "No, I choose this picture. I see myself blessed. I see myself prosperous. I see myself prosperous. I see myself holding the substance of wealth." And each time you do, you strengthen the impression until it becomes fixed, immovable, irresistible. At last the outer world bends to match the inner certainty. I tell you, the imagination is the womb of creation. Just as a child is first conceived in secret before it appears in the world, so every blessing is first conceived in the mind before it manifests in form. You cannot give birth to wealth if you carry only the seed of poverty in thought, but plant within your inner sight the seed of prosperity, nurture it with faith, water it with affirmation, and soon the harvest must appear. You need not know the how, nor the when. That is the work of divine intelligence. Your task is simply to hold the picture unwaveringly, to keep your mental eye upon the prize as though it were already yours. When the farmer plants the seed, he does not concern himself with how the roots will weave through the soil, or how the sun will draw the stalk upward. He simply trusts the process and waits with confidence. So must you trust the creative law. Your spoken word is the planting, your imagination is the shaping, and your faith is the waiting. Together they guarantee the harvest. So when you hold your ticket, let it not be a scrap of paper in your hand. Let it be the symbol of your victory, the visible link to the invisible supply. See beyond its surface and picture the abundance it carries. Picture yourself walking in freedom, blessing others, rejoicing in the overflow. The more clearly you see it, the sooner it will be yours. For Spirit delights to give you the desires of your heart, but it can only deliver what you have already received in vision. Let your words and your pictures agree, for when the decree and the image stand as one, nothing in heaven or earth can keep the manifestation from you. Speak the word and see the picture. Say, "I am already wealthy. I am already chosen. I am already holding the prize," and then let the theater of your mind display the scene until you feel it as real. For when you feel it, the law is already fulfilled, and manifestation is only the next natural step. There is a great error the world has embraced, the idea that some are lucky while others are doomed to struggle. People look at the lottery and say, "It is luck, it is chance, it is all by accident." But I tell you, there is no luck in God's kingdom, no accident in the divine plan, no chance in infinite intelligence. Everything unfolds by law, everything answers to order, Everything arrives by right of consciousness. What appears as luck is simply divine order disguised, and what appears as chance is the outworking of an unseen decree that was spoken long before. If a man wins, the world calls him lucky. They do not see the words he has spoken, the visions he has held, the faith he has carried in silence. If a woman rises out of lack into wealth, they say, she was fortunate, but fortune has no power of its own. It is only the alignment of her word, her picture and her faith with the perfect law that governs all supply. What you call luck is only law unrecognized, and when you recognize it, you no longer depend on chance, you walk in certainty. You must rid yourself of the thought that blessing falls at random, like dice thrown in the air. Infinite Spirit does not gamble with your life. The numbers that appear, the channels that open, the victories that unfold are all ordered with precision, and when you stand in harmony with that order, the outcome cannot fail to bless you. This is why you need never fear, never tremble at odds, never bow before statistics. For the law of spirit overrules every number, every probability, every calculation of man. People say, the odds are against me, but the odds belong to the world of chance, and you belong to the world of divine law. Spirit does not deal in odds, it deals in certainties. It is certain that what you hold in word and vision must take form. It is certain that what you claim with faith must be delivered. It is certain that what is yours by divine right cannot be withheld. When you grasp this, you are free from the tyranny of luck. You no longer chase after fortune. You stand knowing that fortune must come to you. See how the stars move in perfect rhythm, how the tides rise and fall by exact measure, how the seasons arrive in their appointed time. Nothing in nature is accidental, nothing is chaotic, nothing is luck, all is order, all is law, all is harmony, and so it is with your wealth. When you affirm your word and fix your vision, you set in motion a law as precise as the rising sun. At the perfect hour, in the perfect way, your abundance appears, not by luck, not by chance, but by divine order. This is why you must cease the language of uncertainty. Do not say, if I am lucky, perhaps I will win. Say, instead, by divine right, my wealth is secure. By divine order, my ticket is chosen. By law, my abundance is revealed. For words of chance breed only more chance, but words of certainty compel the law to act with certainty. Each declaration must be firm, each picture must be steady, each feeling must be sure. Then the universe, which cannot resist its own law, must bring the manifestation. When you look at a winning number, do not see it as accident. Know that behind it lies the vast intelligence of spirit, weaving all things into harmony. If you are aligned, it is your number, your portion, your supply. If not, it will pass by, not as a punishment, but as a reflection of the pictures you have allowed in mind. This is not to make you fearful, but to make you powerful. For once you see that all unfolds by law, you realize that you are never at the mercy of chance. You are always at the helm, steering by your word and vision. Think of the artist who paints a picture. To the untrained eye, each stroke seems random. A flick of the wrist here, a splash of color there. But step back, and you see the order, the design, the masterpiece unfolding with purpose. So it is with your life. From up close, events may seem scattered, outcomes uncertain, the lottery a matter of numbers pulled at random. But step back in consciousness, and you see the order, every stroke guided, every number aligned, every blessing arranged for your good. Therefore walk no longer in the shadow of chance, release the superstition of luck, stand instead in the brilliance of divine order. Say, everything in my life is unfolding in perfect harmony. The wealth that belongs to me cannot be missed. The numbers that align with me are drawn by law, not by luck. The more you affirm this, the more you feel it, the more you see the order working for you, and the less the illusion of chance can shake you. For when you know there is no luck, you live without fear. You no longer wonder, what if I miss my chance? You know that divine order ensures your chance is never missed. You no longer fret, what if it is not for me? You know that what is for you must reach you, and nothing can block it. You no longer waste energy, hoping for fortune. You rest in the certainty of law, and in that rest, the manifestation comes swiftly, for nothing delays a mind at peace. And yet, even as divine order moves so perfectly, many shut the door of supply with their own lips. For the most dangerous habit of man is not in his work, nor his effort, but in the words of lack that he speaks without thought. He says, I never win, money always escapes me. It is too hard, it is for others, but not for me. And the law, which hears every decree, goes forth to make it so. What he has declared becomes his prison, not because spirit has denied him, but because his own words have denied spirit the channel to bless him. You must understand, lack is not a condition. It is a spirit. It is a shadow that clings to thought, a fog that blinds the inner eye. And as long as you carry that spirit, your words and visions will be stained with defeat. Release it now, for it has no true power over you. Lack is only the absence of recognition, the refusal to see that infinite supply already surrounds you. The very moment you cast it out, you stand in wealth, for wealth is your natural inheritance. When you feel the impulse to say, I cannot, I do not, I lack, catch the word before it leaves your lips. Replace it at once with the declaration, I can, I have, I receive. This is the sword of the Spirit, cutting down the shadow of lack. Speak it again and again until every cell of your body knows it is true. For repetition writes upon the subconscious, and once written, it cannot be erased except by a stronger word. Make your new word stronger. Say it with fire, with faith, with conviction that shakes the heavens, and the law must honor it. Do not allow yourself to joke about poverty, for the law does not understand jest. It hears the word and moves as commanded. Many laugh and say, I am always broke, I never have enough, and they think the laughter cancels the decree. But spirit does not mock, it only obeys. If you wish joy, declare joy. If you wish wealth, declare wealth. But let no word of lack find shelter in your speech. Even more subtle are the thoughts of lack that pass in silence, for what you think continually, though unspoken, still writes itself upon the subconscious. If you rise in the morning thinking, I hope something good will happen, though I doubt it, you are still feeding the spirit of lack. Replace it instantly. Begin the day declaring, something wonderful is already unfolding for me. Divine order is at work. I am blessed beyond measure. Let your thoughts be saturated with plenty, until lack has no room to breathe. The spirit of lack thrives on fear. It whispers there is not enough. You may miss your chance, others have what you desire. But the truth is, infinite supply is endless. The more you receive, the more there is to give. The victory of another does not diminish yours. It proves the law in action. When someone else wins, rejoice, for their blessing is evidence that spirit moves here and now. Say, mine is on the way. My portion cannot be withheld. In that moment you dissolve envy and plant the seed of your own manifestation. I once knew a woman who for years declared, I am unlucky, I never prosper. Her life mirrored her speech, but the day she caught her words and changed them, declaring instead, I am divinely supplied, I prosper in all I do, her circumstances shifted with astonishing speed. Opportunities appeared, channels opened, and within months she stood in abundance, where once she stood in lack. Nothing outside had truly changed, only her word and her vision. The law had always been waiting, but her old decree had held the door shut. This same door waits before you. If lack has followed you, it is only because your word has invited it. Speak now the new decree, and lack must vanish like mist before the sun. Declare, I banish every word of defeat. I cast out the spirit of poverty. I am wealthy. I am chosen. I am supplied. Say it as though you already walk in riches, and soon you shall. For words are living things. They are servants waiting for your command. They go forth to shape the unseen into the seen, and they cannot return without carrying results. Even when you purchase a lottery ticket, guard your lips. Do not say, "This is a waste, I never win," for in that moment, you have already condemned the channel. Instead, bless it. Speak over it. "This is my divine channel. It is guided by infinite intelligence. It carries my wealth to me." You need not know which ticket nor which draw. It is not your business to force the details. It is only your business to speak in faith and release the spirit of lack. For once lack is gone, supply rushes in of itself, filling every space, pouring over every wall, multiplying beyond your measure. And as you do this, as you cleanse your tongue of every defeat, as you wash your thoughts of every shadow, you will feel a new freedom. You will know that wealth is not coming. It is already here, waiting for your acceptance. And with every word you speak in faith, you fling wide the door for it to enter, swift and sure, without resistance, without struggle, in perfect divine order. And once you have released the spirit of lack, you must also release the illusion that the ticket itself is the source of your supply, for the ticket is but a symbol, a channel, a tool through which infinite intelligence may choose to deliver what is already yours. Do not worship the channel and forget the source. The paper in your hand carries no power by itself. It is spirit that breathes life into channels, spirit that decides the means, spirit that cannot be bound by numbers or cards, or slips of chance. Too many place their faith in the object, instead of the power behind it. They cling to the ticket with desperation, saying, "This is my only hope," and in that moment, they shrink their world, for they have limited infinite supply to one narrow path. When they lose, they believe their blessing is gone, never seeing that spirit has 10,000 other ways to deliver the same abundance. The truth is, you can never lose what belongs to you by divine right. If one channel closes, another opens. If one door is shut, a greater one swings wide. Therefore hold the ticket lightly, with joy but not with bondage. Bless it as a chosen vessel, but know that it is not your source. Say, "Spirit is my supply. This ticket is one possible channel, but my wealth is not tied to it. Infinite intelligence chooses the perfect avenue, and I receive with ease." When you hold this attitude, you release all fear. You no longer grip the paper with anxious fingers, wondering, "What if it fails me?" You know it cannot fail you, for it was never meant to carry the burden of being your source. Only spirit can fill that role, and spirit never fails. A woman once told me, "I must win the lottery. It is my only way out," but by those words she bound herself, for she made the lottery her God, her master, her savior. She believed abundance could come no other way, and so she stood in desperation. But spirit does not work through desperation, only through faith. I told her, "Release the need. Say instead, 'My wealth comes by divine right. The ticket is but one channel. I receive through whatever channel is perfect.'" When she did, her consciousness shifted. She began to see opportunities in her work, unexpected gifts from friends, open doors she had overlooked, and though the ticket did not win, she still found herself lifted into abundance. The lottery was not the source. It was only a mirror of the greater law, and yet spirit may choose the ticket as the channel, for the infinite delights in using simple things to display its glory. That small slip of paper can indeed become the golden key to wealth, but only when you have placed your trust in spirit first. If you worship the channel, you block the flow. If you honor the source, the channel is free to serve you. The channel is flexible. The source is infinite. Never reverse the order. Each time you purchase a ticket, do it in joy, in play, in the freedom of knowing that whether it is this or another path, your wealth is certain. Say, "I bless this channel. If spirit chooses it, the numbers align in my favor. If not, another channel opens for me at once. My supply cannot be withheld, for spirit is my source." With such a declaration, you walk in peace. You no longer tremble at the outcome of a draw, nor place your fate in hands of chance. You rest in certainty. and in that rest the law works swiftly. You may notice when you shift this perspective, the strain leaves your heart. You are no longer desperate for one outcome. You are open to every outcome that blesses you, and openness is the soil in which manifestation thrives. A clenched fist cannot receive, but an open hand is filled. When you release the tight grip of fear and say, "Spirit, choose the channel," you open your hand and abundance flows in, often faster than you imagined. Do not forget, Spirit can use anything: a lottery, a gift, an idea, a meeting, a door you did not even know existed. The channels are endless, but the source is one. And when you are rooted in that source, you can welcome every channel with joy, never needing to cling, never fearing to lose. For even if the paper in your hand is not the one, your wealth still comes. Even if the draw passes without your numbers, your blessing is still secure. The form may change, but the substance is eternal, and it cannot fail to reach you. So each time you look upon a ticket, see it not as your savior, but as a servant. It is a vessel awaiting Spirit's command. It may be the one, or another may be chosen, but the result is always the same. You are supplied, you are blessed, you are lifted into abundance. Release the burden from the channel, and place your faith where it belongs. Then whether the ticket wins or not, you win always, for you walk in the certainty that infinite intelligence is ever your unfailing source. And this is why, beloved, your power does not rest in hope but in faith. For hope is a trembling thing, a waiting thing, a longing that looks to the future and says, perhaps one day. But faith is the assurance of now, the substance of what already is, the knowing that declares, it is mine in this very moment. Hope is weak because it waits for proof. Faith is strong because it creates the proof. You must ask yourself, do you live in hope or in faith? The hopeful one buys the ticket and says, I hope it wins. I hope something good will happen. But beneath the words lies doubt, uncertainty, fear that perhaps it will not come to pass. The hopeful waits for an outside sign, for numbers on a page, to tell them whether they are blessed. But the faithful one knows before the draw, knows before the announcement, knows even without the ticket in hand. For faith declares the outcome before the world has had time to confirm it. Spirit never answers hope, but Spirit always answers faith. For hope keeps the blessing always in tomorrow, and tomorrow never comes. Faith draws it into today, into the eternal now, where all manifestation is born. If you say, one day I will be wealthy, you place your blessing in the distance, and the distance stretches forever. But if you say, I am wealthy now, abundance is mine now, supply flows to me now, the law must hurry to reflect your decree. The world teaches you to hope. It tells you, keep your fingers crossed, wish for the best, maybe fortune will smile. But the law of Spirit does not deal in wishes, it deals in certainty. A seed does not hope to grow, it knows by its very nature that growth is inevitable. The sun does not hope to rise, it knows it must rise by law. And so must you know that your word and your vision, planted in faith, must bring forth the harvest. When you hold a ticket in hope, you tremble and waver. One moment you think, maybe I will win. The next moment, it is unlikely. This double-mindedness confuses the subconscious, for it receives mixed orders and cannot obey. But when you hold it in faith, your declaration is single, clear and unwavering. You say, this is my channel, blessed by divine right. My wealth is revealed in perfect order, and because the law has received a firm decree, it goes forth with power to make it so. Faith is not strain, it is rest. Hope strains, hoping the tide will turn. Faith rests, knowing the tide is already in. When you feel yourself anxious, waiting, wondering, you are in hope. Shift at once into faith, by speaking the word in the present tense. It is mine now. Spirit has already provided. I walk in my abundance. Do not wait for numbers to give you peace. Claim the peace first, and the numbers will align to reflect it. I have seen many who lived for years in hope, always expecting tomorrow to bring their blessing. but tomorrow never came. The day they shifted into faith, everything changed. Their speech became firm, their vision steady, their hearts at rest. And as surely as night follows day, manifestation appeared, often in ways they never expected. For faith does not cling to one channel. It opens to all channels. Faith says, whether by this ticket or another, whether by this path or another, my wealth is certain, my supply is secure. Do not confuse faith with stubborn willpower. Willpower struggles and forces. Faith relaxes and allows. Willpower says, I will make it happen. But faith says, it is already done. One is heavy, the other light. One is burden, the other freedom. If you feel weary in your affirmation, you are using will, not faith. Drop the strain and step into rest. Say, Spirit performs this work. My only part is to speak and to believe. Then the law moves swiftly, for it meets no resistance. Faith also speaks only in the now. It does not say, I will win, I will prosper, for that is the language of hope, forever waiting. Faith says, I have already won, I already prosper, and the subconscious, which responds only to the present tense, accepts it as fact, and begins immediately to manifest it. This is why the masters of old always spoke as if the blessing were already accomplished. They did not wait to see, they declared the unseen as seen, the invisible as visible, and so it became. Therefore, when you look upon your life, do not speak of what you hope for but of what you know. Say, it is mine, I walk in it now, Spirit has already delivered it. Speak with such confidence that even your own mind cannot doubt. And as you do, the unseen power rushes to confirm your word, arranging people, circumstances, and even the numbers of chance to align with your decree. And as faith rests, it also waits with serenity upon divine right timing. For every manifestation has its appointed hour, and when you are aligned with Spirit, nothing comes too soon and nothing is delayed. The flowers do not bloom in winter, nor does the harvest come before the seed is planted. Yet when the season is right, nothing can hold back the blossoming, nothing can prevent the reaping. So it is with your supply, with your win, with the very thing you call forth. Impatience is the companion of hope, but patience belongs to faith. The hopeful one says, when will it come? Why is it not here already? Perhaps I have missed my chance. But the faithful one knows, the promise is already fulfilled, and rests in the invisible certainty. They declare, in divine right timing, it is revealed. Spirit knows the perfect moment, and in that moment, all aligns in my favor. Many lose their blessing, because they rush ahead of timing. They dig up their seed to see if it has sprouted. They pull at the bud to force the flower to open. They demand instant proof, and when it does not appear in their own schedule, they fall into discouragement. Yet Spirit moves in precision. What you decree is already yours, but it is unveiled in the hour when its unfolding serves you best. If the manifestation came before you were ready, you might not hold it. If the channel opened too soon, you might not recognize it. But when divine right timing arrives, you cannot miss it, you cannot lose it, you cannot be denied. Trust that the delay you think you see is not a denial, but a preparation. The numbers are being arranged, the paths are being cleared, the circumstances are being shifted, so that when it comes with ease and certainty. You may think Spirit moves slowly, but in truth Spirit moves with precision. And when the appointed hour strikes, what you thought impossible unfolds in a single day, even in a single moment. I once knew a woman who held her vision for years. She spoke her word, she affirmed her abundance, she declared her win. Yet for a long season, nothing seemed to happen. Others told her she was wasting her time, that she should give up, but she did not waver. She did not dig up her seed. She trusted the law and rested in faith. Then one morning, without warning, the channel opened. A ticket she had bought casually carried the numbers she had long declared. Her wealth arrived, not in struggle, not in strain, but in divine right timing. And she said, now I see why it could not have come before. The hour was appointed, and now the hour is fulfilled. So too must you learn to walk in patience, for patience is not passive. patience is power. It is the quiet knowing that what you have spoken must come, even if the outer evidence seems to delay. It is not waiting empty-handed. It is waiting full, waiting in certainty, waiting as one who already holds the promise. When you say, "It is mine now," and in divine right timing, it is revealed, you align yourself with heaven's clock, and heaven's clock never fails. Consider how the tides move by the moon, how the planets keep their course. There is no hurry, no delay, only order. You cannot hasten the sunrise, nor can you stop it when its moment arrives. So too with your manifestation. It is set by law, it is arranged by order, and when the light breaks, no force on earth can keep it hidden. Guard yourself against the temptation to compare your timing with another's. What unfolds quickly for one may take longer for another, but each has their perfect hour. The oak does not envy the rose, for though the rose blooms swiftly, and the oak grows slowly, each fulfills its purpose in season. If you think, "Why has it come for them and not for me?" you fall again into doubt and impatience. Instead, declare, "Mine is certain, mine is secure, mine is unfolding in perfect divine right timing." And remember, the manifestation may not always arrive through the path you expect. Faith does not cling to one channel, for Spirit has 1,000 ways to deliver. Divine right timing often surprises, bringing your supply from a source you had not even considered. The ticket may be the channel, or another door may open suddenly, carrying greater blessing than you imagined. Faith does not dictate how or when, it rests in knowing it is already done and revealed in the hour most fitting. If you feel yourself restless, say, "I rest in divine right order. What is mine cannot pass me by. My wind, my wealth, my supply appears at the appointed hour, and I rejoice in advance." Rejoice now, as though the manifestation has already been revealed, for in spirit it has. Rejoicing hastens the hour, for joy is faith's evidence. Fear delays, but joy accelerates. Give thanks before you see, and you shall see what you have given thanks for. Let this be your declaration. Nothing comes too late, nothing comes too soon. All that is mine arrives in perfect order, in perfect timing, under grace and in a miraculous way. Speak it daily, breathe it deeply, believe it wholly. Then when the moment arrives, you will not be surprised, but you will say, "Of course, it is here now. Spirit has delivered as promised, exactly as I decreed." And as you rest in divine right timing, you must also become vigilant, for timing alone cannot bear fruit unless the soil of your mind remains pure. Your thoughts are the gatekeepers of your destiny. They either invite the blessing in or drive it away. Every thought is a seed, and every seed bears fruit after its kind. You cannot plant weeds and expect roses, nor can you harbor doubt and expect miracles. Therefore, guard the gate of your mind, as you would guard the doorway to your home. When you plant a seed in the earth, you do not leave the field unattended, allowing any weed to grow unchecked. You cultivate, you protect, you uproot what does not belong. So it is with your consciousness. The moment you allow fear, envy, or disbelief to creep in, it takes root, and soon your inner garden is choked with thorns. But when you watch carefully and remove every intruder the instant it appears, your harvest comes quickly and abundantly. The world is full of voices that seek to sow seeds in your mind. They say, "You cannot win. It is too rare. The odds are against you." Why bother? If you let these voices lodge in your heart, they will become your own words, and your words will become your law. You must stand as a watchman at the gate, refusing entry to all thoughts that deny your abundance. Say within yourself, "I allow only that which serves my vision, only that which magnifies my faith. All else is cast out." You cannot keep birds from flying over your head, but you can keep them from building a nest in your hair. In the same way, stray thoughts may pass through, but you must not allow them to dwell. The moment you catch yourself saying, "Perhaps I will never win, perhaps it is not for me," strike it down at once and replace it with the truth. "All that is mine comes to me by divine right. I am an open channel for supply, and nothing can withhold it from me. Some imagine they can entertain negative thoughts secretly without consequence. But the subconscious hears every word, sees every image, and records every impression. It does not distinguish between a joke and a decree, between a fear and a command. What you permit yourself to dwell upon, it takes as law and works to bring forth. If you say lightly, I never win anything, you have given a command, and the subconscious obeys. But if you say with authority, I always attract what is mine, my wins come with ease and certainty, the subconscious hastens to arrange it. This is why discipline of thought is the highest form of mastery. For what is the use of faith if you permit doubt to linger? What is the use of affirming in the morning, if you cancel your affirmation by complaining at night? A single moment of fear is not fatal, but repeated fear becomes a pattern, and the pattern becomes a reality. Therefore, watch yourself closely, and where you see weakness, strengthen it at once with truth. Guarding your thoughts does not mean living in tension, but in awareness. It is not repression but selection. Just as you would not allow poison into your food, do not allow poison into your mind. Fill yourself with words of life, images of victory, visions of abundance. Speak them, picture them, feel them until they become natural, until the weeds of doubt have no soil left in which to grow. And know this, what you keep in consciousness, you will surely see in manifestation. If your mind is filled with lack, you will meet lack at every corner. If your mind is filled with wealth, wealth will meet you in unexpected ways. The ticket, the number, the channel may change, but the law is unchanging. You reap exactly what you plant. I recall one who longed for abundance yet constantly declared, I am unlucky, I never succeed. They could not see that they were speaking curses over their own harvest. Their gate was unguarded, their soil unkept. When they learned to reverse their words, to watch each thought as carefully as a jeweler watches his gems, the change was immediate. They began to say, I am fortunate. I always receive what is mine. Opportunities chase me, and the outer world soon mirrored the inner decree. This law is impersonal. It does not bend for pity. It does not respond to desperation. It responds only to command, only to the vibration you hold steadily within. To guard your thoughts is to guard your future, to protect your win, to ensure that your decree is not stolen by the intruders of fear. Therefore, be alert but not afraid. Be vigilant but not anxious. Simply know that every thought is a key, opening a door to the life you desire or the life you dread. Choose wisely, for choice is your power. If a wrong thought enters, do not despair. Cast it out at once and plant the right one. A weed does not ruin a garden if the gardener removes it swiftly. Let your mind become a sanctuary where only truth dwells. Let your words be strong, your images clear, your faith steady. Then nothing can hinder your supply, for the law must give form to what you hold within. When the gate is guarded, the harvest is certain, the manifestation inevitable. The numbers align, the channels open, the supply flows, because the inner garden has been kept in order. And this is why your words must always be spoken in the now, for the subconscious mind does not understand tomorrow. It knows only the present. It obeys only the moment. It responds only to what you declare as reality today. If you say, I will win one day, the subconscious places it always in the distance, and the distance stretches endlessly. If you say, I am a winner now, I have received my supply now, I walk in wealth now, the subconscious accepts it as fact, and immediately begins its work to align the outer world with the inner decree. The mistake most people make is to push their good forever into the future. They say, I will prosper someday. I will be successful when things change. I will win when luck turns. They do not realize they are postponing their manifestation indefinitely, for tomorrow is a place that never arrives. The law of spirit moves only in the eternal now. Creation is always in the present tense. It was in the beginning when God said, let there be, and it is now whenever you speak. It is so. You may ask, but how can I say I have already won when I have not yet seen it with my eyes? And I tell you, the eyes of spirit see what the eyes of flesh cannot. The moment you declare it, it exists in the invisible. To speak it in the now is not to lie but to align. You are not deceiving yourself. You are commanding reality to bend to the truth already established in spirit. You are saying, I do not wait for proof. I create the proof by speaking it into being. Every word you speak in the now sends forth a vibration that cannot return void. It carries the command to people, places, and circumstances, arranging them to reflect your decree. The numbers that seem random, the ticket that seems ordinary, the channel that seems unlikely, all are moved by the power of the word spoken as present truth. But when you say, I will, you send forth no command, only a postponement. The law waits because you wait, and nothing happens until you bring it into now. This is why affirmations must be stated as though the thing were already accomplished. Not I will have wealth, but I have wealth. Not I will find success, but I succeed now. Not I will win, but I have won. For each time you speak in this way, the subconscious accepts it, engraves it, and begins at once to manifest it outwardly. You do not need to know how. You do not need to know when. You need only to speak the now, and the how and the when are delivered in divine right order. Many people keep themselves trapped in waiting by the way they speak. They wake each day declaring lack. One day I will be free. One day I will have enough. One day my life will change. They do not see that their very words are chains holding their blessing away. The key is in their own tongue, yet they refuse to turn it. If only they would speak differently, their reality would shift. For as the word goes, so life goes. The difference between I will and I am is the difference between hope and faith. Hope says someday, faith says already, and spirit answers only to faith. Therefore, let your every declaration be clothed in the language of now. Say each morning, I walk in abundance now. I live in victory now. My win is manifest now. Say it not once but continually, until it is carved deep into the soil of your subconscious. For repetition is the tool by which truth becomes rooted, and once rooted it must bear fruit. Perhaps you fear that speaking in the now will make you disappointed if the outer evidence has not yet appeared, but disappointment comes only when you secretly doubt. If you know that your word is law, if you know that spirit always fulfills, then you cannot be disappointed. You may not see it yet with your eyes, but you rejoice because you have already claimed it. The farmer is not disappointed when the seed has not yet sprouted, for he knows it is growing beneath the soil. He waters it daily, not with sighs of despair but with confidence, because the harvest is certain. So must you water your word, declaring it daily as present fact, until the outer world reveals what was already true in spirit. Train your tongue to speak only in the now. Let no phrase of waiting escape your lips. Catch yourself when you say, I hope, I wish, I will, and replace it instantly with, I am, I have, it is. In time this language will become natural, and when it is natural, manifestation comes swiftly, for there is no longer a gap between inner and outer. The inner has declared, the outer must comply, and when you begin to live this way, something miraculous happens. Your atmosphere changes, others begin to feel it. Doors open, opportunities appear, paths clear, and you find yourself in places you once only dreamed of. For the power of the spoken now draws all things to itself. It is the magnet, it is the key, it is the law made flesh through your word. And when you have trained your tongue to speak in the now, you must also anchor your heart in the great truth of divine right wealth. For wealth is not a matter of chance, nor is it a privilege reserved for a few. Wealth is a law, established in spirit before the foundation of the world, and that law says you have a rightful portion of supply. You are not a beggar at the table of life, you are an heir of infinite abundance. It is yours by divine right, and nothing can take from you what belongs to you in spirit. The world would tell you otherwise. It would tell you that wealth is scarce, that it is fought over, that some are destined to prosper while others must live in lack. But that is man's law, and man's law is built on fear. Divine law knows no scarcity, no competition, no lack. Infinite spirit has infinite channels. If one door closes, 1,000 others stand open. If one channel dries, 10,000 more flow. The river of supply cannot run empty, for it springs from the source that never ceases. Therefore, when you affirm your wealth, you must not claim it from another, nor imagine that by your gain another loses. You must know that what is yours cannot be withheld, and what belongs to another cannot be taken. When you declare, "I claim my divine right wealth now," you call forth your own portion, untouched, unspoiled, unhindered, and when it comes in such a way that no one is diminished, but all are blessed. The mistake many make is to think that wealth must come by struggle. They believe they must grasp, compete, toil, and labor endlessly. Yet struggle is the language of fear, not faith. Divine right wealth does not come by clawing or clutching. It comes by declaring and receiving. The birds of the air do not hoard, the lilies of the field do not labor, yet both are clothed and fed by the abundance of spirit. Shall you, who are greater, live in fear of lack? No, stand tall and declare, "I receive my wealth with ease, under grace in perfect ways." And when you do, the law begins to move. Opportunities arise, doors open, ideas flow, channels appear. Perhaps it comes through a ticket, perhaps through work, perhaps through a gift, perhaps through a way you never imagined. The channel is not your concern, the source is your concern. Keep your eye on spirit, and the outer world will arrange itself in miraculous order. Some shrink back from wealth, fearing they are unworthy, fearing it is selfish, fearing it will corrupt. But lack does not serve the world, and poverty does not bless your neighbor. Only when you are full can you pour out to others. Only when you are supplied can you supply. Divine right wealth is not selfish, it is service. It allows you to live without fear, to give without measure, to move freely in the work you are called to do. To deny your wealth is to deny the law that seeks to bless you, and to cut yourself off from the very abundance that could bless others through you. Speak it boldly. I accept my divine right wealth. It flows to me now in rivers of plenty. It comes easily. It comes joyfully. It comes in perfect ways. Let this be your daily declaration, until your subconscious accepts it as truth, and the outer world cannot help but comply. For as surely as the seed becomes a tree, your word becomes flesh. If ever you are tempted to think that wealth is far, remember this in spirit: nothing is far. The very moment you claim it, it is present. You may not yet see it with your eyes, but it surrounds you in the unseen, pressing to be made visible. The delay is not in spirit, but in your own acceptance. The more firmly you accept it, the faster it appears. Say, "I release all fear, I release all doubt, I release all waiting. I claim my wealth now. It is mine by divine right, and it manifests under grace in perfect ways." You may notice that as you claim this truth, obstacles seem to arise, unexpected bills, sudden losses, discouraging words from others. Do not be moved by appearances. These are but shadows of the old thought form dissolving. They rise up only to be cleared away, making room for the new. Do not fear them. Do not bow to them. Declare instead, "Nothing can oppose my good. No man, no circumstance, no condition can block my divine right wealth. Spirit is my source, and spirit cannot fail." Hold fast to this truth, for it is a shield against every arrow of lack. Speak it when you rise. Speak it when you walk. Speak it when you lie down at night. The more you speak, the more it becomes the atmosphere around you, and soon you will find that wealth seems to seek you out, opportunities seem to chase you, channels open without your effort. For you are no longer chasing wealth, wealth is chasing you. And when it comes, you will see that it was not chance, not luck, not accident. It was the law that has always been true, the law that you finally chose to believe, the law of divine right wealth. So I say unto you, stand in your word and know that nothing can be withheld from you. The lottery of life is not chance, it is law, your spoken word, your guarded thought, your faith in the now, and your trust in divine right timing. You are not at the mercy of numbers, nor of man-made odds. You are at the command of Spirit, and Spirit moves at your decree. Speak wealth and wealth appears. See victory, and victory unfolds. Walk as though it is already yours, and soon the world will bow to your certainty. Do not wait, do not wonder, do not beg, declare, claim, receive, for it is your Father's good pleasure to give you the kingdom, and the kingdom includes every channel of abundance, even the one the world calls the lottery. Let this be your song: I have already won. I live in my divine right wealth. My abundance flows freely, easily, miraculously, under grace and in perfect ways. Say it until it sings in your bones, until it vibrates in your very breath, until the unseen world rushes to make it visible. And when it comes, as surely it must, you will not be surprised, you will only smile and say, of course, it was always mine.